What's happening, you guys? Another
Man,
episode of Midnight's Prism coming at you. Here's Drew looking sexy in film noir.
I swear to God, I didn't realize. I was just like sitting there reading the chat, and I looked in the chat, and I said hello to the fucking bot. I said hello to the fucking Stream Elements bot.
No, totally. You,
I
you're
mean,
you're like little Leia and Kenobi saying like maybe robots do have feelings.
I really said hello to the Stream Elements bot. That was great. Oh my god.
Hail Stream Elements, remember to smash the like button. Give us the super thanks.
Oh, Godzillionaire for $5 American. Woohoo, monetization. Yes. The super chats are working again now. Okay, so the problem isn't entirely solved, and I'll explain it to you guys here in a second. I want to say hello to everybody first. Hail to Sean Estep. Hail, of course, to Keck 44 is in the house. RR is in the house. He is wrenching. What's up, my dude? We've got Team's in the house, and the aforementioned Godzillionaire. Also, Tobat is chilling. He says, "Hope you have an excellent show here in Florida. I'm about to hit the hay. We'll tune in next time and catch the replay." Yeah, Tobat was actually he had some stories to share regarding UFOs, and the problem was that it just the timing didn't work out so well because I know he's got an awful lot to do very early in the morning. So the timing didn't work out this week, but we will definitely get him on for that, which is kind of why I did a part two of our discussion on UFOs generally. We were kicking around the idea what we were going to do tonight is talk about alien abduction, but since Corey obviously it was having a migraine issue and some other things, and shout out to Corey. Hope you feel
Yeah.
better, buddy. Um, it's me and Coil, and I think what we're going to do is kind of continue off of last week because UFOs is just such an expansive topic. Okay, so we were able to kind of get into it a little bit generally last week, but we're going to talk a little bit tonight about things like the Phoenix Lights. We're going to talk about Betty and Barney Hill and stuff like that. It kind of just set the table, and then we're really going to go into next week alien abduction because that is contactees and abduction. That is a very big part of when you broach the UFO topic in general. So that's one of the things that is important when you're discussing UFOs. And I want to make sure that we give that the proper time and care that it needs. And hail to the CJH. What's up, CJ? So that's why we're kind of doing it very loose, very off the cuff this evening. And we're just having a part two of our discussion. You know, I have to say, you guys understand because of what I do. A lot of times when we've talked with Wes, okay, I'm kind of now. I used to be a firm believer, and now I wonder because of things like Project Bluebeam and things of that nature. So that is what kind of pushed me more towards back towards center skeptic, if you will, because I used to be full on believer. Now I'm not saying I'm not, but once I really started to research Project Bluebeam and things like that, that kind of sort of pushed me back a little bit towards the center, at least engaged my skeptic sense, if you will. Horrendo Revolver, and hail to you. It's great to see you this evening. Horrendo Revolver says Bob Lazar wasn't lying, and Dave Icke is right about everything.
Big fan of both of those guys. Dave Icke wrote a bunch of interesting books, and
Yes,
Bob
he did.
Lazar had something to do with the reverse engineering, and you can say allegedly the reverse engineering of UFO or
Hmm.
spacecraft, sport craft, as he called it, at the uh, dry lake groom bed,
Hmm.
like an S1.
Groom Lake. Groom
Yeah,
Lake.
groom lake. Yeah.
Hail to DJ Odyssey. What's up, Deej? It's great to see you. We also have the wonderful, my friend Billy Ann Cruz. She's in the house. Great to see you, Billy Ann. Billy Ann never misses these shows, and I'm so appreciative that she supports our content. That's very awesome of her. Um, so CJ's asking what's Project Bluebeam. Well, let me go ahead and tell it to you in a nutshell. And it's one of those uh, things where step one is they will kind of develop technology, which is what they what is kind of like what we're seeing now with UFOs and everything, all the black budget projects, all of that. Um, and then also your things like HARP, your weather control, uh, things of that nature is in that as well. Um, the second step involves using sophisticated technology to use 3D holographic images of all the prophets or heads of the four major religions: Jesus, Muhammad, Krishna, and Buddha. The images would be broadcast simultaneously in skies around the world. They will then merge these images into one in order to make people feel like their God is directly speaking to them. It's basically using a fake alien invasion to push the rest of the New World Order, and it's a misdirection to start. Really, that is the belief. Um, that is the belief system to that they want to use for one world religion. So that is so that's essentially what Project Bluebeam is, and RR is correct. It's you want to say hey, it's CIA misdirection. Yeah, that's essentially what it is, because obviously they would be in on it. Now there is a thing for a Project Bluebeam, as far fetched as it may sound, where you can really listen to, okay, let's pay attention to follow the money. We know that trillions upon trillions of dollars go into black budget projects every year. The American people are not told where it's going. I mean, we don't know. Hell, most people in the government don't even know where it's going.
Right. There was a
Yeah.
Senate investigation into the disappearance of trillions of dollars into these black budget projects, and it took place like September 10th, 2001. You know, and then what happens the next day?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. So another story that I remember reading connected to that was people trying to poo-poo the idea that they could make Jesus come back or make whoever come back. But there were several like performance shows where they used holography to make people like Tupac come back or people like Elvis come back and dance on
Hmm.
the stage and do shit next to Snoop Dogg and all that kind of stuff. So the technology's there. It's just going to be used in conjunction with modern media, and we've already seen what deep fake technology can do.
Yeah. Deed said he met the alien. See, he's the greatest American hero.
Oh yeah, look at that sexy motherfucker.
I came from Orc. I said on my face. Nice. Mark calling Austin. Mark calling Austin. Come in, Austin. Oh man. But yeah, that's what we have with Project Bluebeam. Um, the interesting thing about that is it plausible? Could that happen? Well, we know that the government has a lot of technology. We already know the existence of chemtrails and also with weather manipulation. All right,
Mhm.
that is proven. People have seen it. Just the other day, I had a buddy I'm in another Twitter group with in a I guess call it a conspiracy group, whatever you want to call it. He sent me pictures or live video actually of you could see at his job site. He panned the camera up to the sky. You could see the planes making the chemtrails as they go, and it was like almost that crisscross pattern. All right, and so that's not by accident. That's happening. They're constantly spraying shit into the atmosphere, and manipulate. It's for two things. It's for continued chemical manipulation of humans. It's also continued weather manipulation. We have the technology from HARP that can directly control weather, and you can make the case that this led to some of the things like the Fukushima incident, things like that. So, they've been spraying chemtrails for decades. Yes, they have. Matter of fact, John B. Wells, and I was on his program. He's talked about that extensively. Plaid skies are everywhere. Yeah, I've seen a lot of it. Hell,
I
you could
used
see
to
it
see that shit all
outside.
the time.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's necessarily in the decline or if they achieved whatever the fuck they thought. But there's pictures online where you get like a commercial jet, and then they rip out all the seats and all the luggage compartments, and then they install the gas uh, deploying shit.
Can they stop reincarnation or capture the soul? That
Ooh,
that is a $1 million question,
that's a big
CJ.
question. I'd
Thank you
like to
for
hear your.
the thank you for the what is the exchange rate now? What does that make it, like $1.25 or something? $2
It's
Canadian.
Canadian $2. Call it that way. I'd
But
like to hear what you got to say, Drew, and then I got something to say about this too.
thank you for the Canuck bucks, CJ. Hail Zax. Great to see you, Zax. Godzillionaire says, okay, I have worked with commercial jet engines multiple times in the past, and I want to call BS on the chemtrails thing, and that's fine, Godzillionaire. Largely, what I've seen is it's like civilian jet engine aircraft, not commercial. This is just like private. These are smaller, almost a little above private jet size jets.
Well, the things that I hear, okay, is that there's legitimate like air turbulence that happens when
There
jet
is,
fuel hits the air,
there
but
is.
that shit disappears right away. Chemtrails, supposedly, if you believe in
Well, there's
them,
a difference between contrails and chemtrails.
yeah,
You have to
the
know.
contrail will disappear relatively quickly, like you know, and then the chemtrails would take longer to disappear. It would stay in the sky for hours and hours and hours and hours, like pretty much all day, and then just finally dissipate. And you know,
CJ wants to know: do they want to stop reincarnation from happening? Actually, and CJ, are you asking necessarily if it's aliens that want to stop it, or the New World Order types? Because yeah, the New World Order types, I can tell you right now, they want to stop humans from evolving from the sense of, and I've had this talk with Coyle before. Okay,
Yeah.
because we've talked about the pineal gland, things
Yep.
of that nature. Okay, they don't want people to reach a plateau, if you will, where you understand your own brain, where you understand things like the pineal gland in the next level of abilities, God-given abilities that you have as a human being. They don't want you to understand that. Why do you think they're trying to dumb people down? But they cannot capture the soul. That soul is uniquely yours, and they seethe and cope and go crazy that they can't capture your soul, but they cannot capture your soul. There's no way.
No, but you can volitionally submit to whatever the fuck's going on.
Well, they can. They could
No,
capture you. They could capture your mind, but they
yeah,
can't capture your soul.
no, that's why they're trying to target your body and your mind, and then as
Hmm.
you reincarnate, like maybe the process stretches out. We're alive in strange and wonderful times, and anything's possible.
They think they can hack and download consciousness. The materialists don't believe in souls, only chemical electric pulses that create the mind. Yes, and our minds are beautiful, but the thing is, when you tap in to what they call your chakras, your pineal gland, and you start to understand the scope of what you're capable of.
Right.
Okay, that is huge, and that is an evolution that they don't want in humans, because you start to think on a more broad scale. You start to think, understand things on a little bit better scale. They don't want you sharp. They want you dull. They want you dumbed down. They want you kept away from that.
Well, yeah, God becoming man is one thing, but man becoming God, that's something completely different. Because imagine 9 billion awakened spirits like out there in the fucking universe, everything would change.
Well, it's not us becoming gods ourselves. It's just us becoming, a next level of evolution that are or that what we were originally meant to be.
Well, embracing the divinity within ourselves might be a better way to phrase it.
The NWO are hypermaterialists. They don't believe in transcendence. They place their faith in transhumanism, and that's where their failing will be. Chris Mead says, "What's up, Drew? What is up, Chris? It's great to have you here." Um, RR says, "Watch Don Wigginton on the geoengineering that they've been doing. The ancient belief of a holistic nature is alien to materialists." Yes, absolutely. Godzillionaire said, "I've seen jet engines torn apart. There isn't a good way to inject stuff." Okay, fair enough. Um, I've just seen, so whatever it is, even if it's not necessarily out of jet engines, but just something that they're using to deploy it that is not necessarily a jet engine. Now that there could be an apparatus, there is a precedent for that, similar to crop dusting rigs, but it all depends how you do it. As far as I know, it's never been about the engines. It's about that other apparatus. It works in conjunction with the engines, I believe. But anyway, to get onto the topic, because man, we've been all over in the first 15 minutes here. Um, when you're talking about UFOs again, and we talked about Blue Beam, you have to try to differentiate from what's real from what is hoax. And a lot of times it's hard. There are some convincing hoaxes out there, but what we know of real is, there's a lot of things that people have seen that maybe you yourself, any of you out there in the audience, have seen and had a sighting. I know a lot of people have had a sighting, including myself.
Hmm. I've seen stuff too.
You know, so many of us have seen, and God, I call them UFOs because I'm old school. I know the proper term now supposedly is UAP, but hey, look, I'm not down with the new speak, so sue me, okay? It's I've seen UFOs before.
Well, so if we
Um,
think about it from a historical perspective, UFOs, at least in the media, became reported more and more like post World War II, and then supposedly Roswell happened and we captured something, and suddenly the government realized that there was something out there that possessed a superior technology that they could not protect us against. So then you have an effort like Project Blue Book come out in order to make it seem like this is all swamp gas or the planet Venus or moonshine people in the rocking chairs making shit up.
well, you have to ask, why did the government not want people to know? I mean, it's only now that they're admitting that it's an actual national security threat.
Well,
You
then we
know,
should talk
be,
about the Battle of Los Angeles
because
and
they
Orson
don't.
Welles' War of the Worlds.
They don't want to pay attention to the credible thing, which is, hey, this is a threat to their national security. They're following around aircraft carrier groups. You've got strange things following around the ground forces when they're deployed elsewhere. It's insane. So nobody knows what it is. It could be advanced secret technology from a rival nation. It could be, the supposed New World Order using their own private army with technology superior to any other nation. Which, if that's true, then we are fucked. No offense. It just that's if the New World Order has that stuff, then yeah, we are. But it's hard to say. But the thing is when you look into the plausibility of this stuff, I do believe in things like Rendlesham Forest. It was very freaky how how we've heard that some of objects have gone and interacted with ICBM launching areas,
Yeah.
to that nature. That freaks me out. That should freak everyone out.
Well, there was a book written by Philip J. Corso called the Day After Roswell, and he addresses Roswell and what he saw there. But he talks about that how UFOs would fly over nuclear weapons facilities and like turn them on to where like they couldn't turn them off and then turn them off just to say that they can do that. Now, I don't know if that was a threat of intimidation or if that's like if you ever deployed these things, we can counteract them or they're useless against us. Who knows? But that was like a no shit, like uh, big brass colonel, and he was in charge of like the foreign technologies desk, is what he said. It's an
Hmm.
interesting book. Go check it out.
Yeah, it's very interesting that you see, especially now, the amount of sightings ramping up again. I would argue that in the 2000s, we are in one of the most active, just one of the most active sets of years. The past 20, 22 years have been super active. I mean, the last couple decades with sightings have just exploded. You hear accounts all the time. People definitely that live out in the West, that live on the West Coast. You know, there are certain spots where you could go and you can see these things very clearly
Oh yeah.
by just turning on a pair of independent, like the
Oh, like night vision.
yeah, night vision.
Yeah. Well, you remember our buddy Final Death Star a couple years back? He released videos of shit that he saw,
Yeah.
and he's a YouTuber like us. I miss that guy. We should probably have him on the show at some point.
Well, final when I created this program, people remember that I think we're not from Earth, intergalactic species, says CJ. Nice.
Mhm.
And hey, thank you again for another $2 Canadian. Um, Final and I were doing the Enter the Unfamiliar programs, and because that was Final State, and then Final real life called, and Final had to take care of some things, and he wasn't able to continue along with the content as often. Now, I told him, I said, hey, I want to get our audience back together, get the band back together, you guys out there, because you enjoyed that type of content so much. And I said, I'm going to do a program called the Midnight Prism. And Final was like, hey, man, that's awesome. And but that was the biggest thing where I wanted to get his blessing. And so that works. And look, when Final goes live, folks, when he comes back and he does an Enter the Unfamiliar, I'm totally going to defer to that, and I'll be on there co-hosting with him. But that this is nice because we've got the Midnight Prism to keep that vibe every Sunday. DJ Odyssey says, Drew, damn it, we are originally from this planet. We came from 13 colonies that was destroyed by the Cylons. Oh, man. Chris Mead said, I thought it was Zaha Doom. Indeed says, yeah, it could be there too. Nice. Oh, very, very. Shout out to Babylon 5. God, I miss that program. But, you see a lot of things now where it's just my goodness, the stuff you're seeing, it's just so hard to explain. Like that footage, that Navy footage with the tic tac and everything, I couldn't explain that, especially when they showed the part of the water when they made the intercept, and the bigger craft under the water. I was absolutely stumped. I'm like, what in the hell?
Yeah, and this is your United States Navy and one of its most advanced fighters, um, putting putting radar on these things, tracking them going, whatever 3,000 miles an hour, and unable to engage them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not some guy on the porch drinking moonshine. That's your United States Navy, and they're saying we don't know what this is, but here's what happened.
Well, yeah, and you have to wonder too, because there's a lot of people, and and there's many of us that have sat there and watches Ancient Aliens and things like that. So you wonder, was our planet, were we direct descendants of an alien species? Was our planet,
Well, that's the Canadian super chat. We should pull that back up if you're going to talk about that.
it's very interesting.
Yeah.
I believe in God, and I make no bones about being a believer. But listen, we often ask ourselves, well, what is God? Is
Sure.
God, and it's a fascinating question to at least ask.
Well, and most indigenous societies agree that humanity is the sum of like a component of the heavens and a component of the earth. And that's where everybody wants to talk about Sitchin and chariots of the gods and things like that. But I'm talking more about tribes like the Dogon and
I just All right. Well, I want to ask you: Are we the apex? Is humanity the apex? Are we where it ends, or are we, or are there? Is there a species more advanced and higher level than us? And I wonder about that. That's another question that we ask too. Now, I'm in the camp that you say, okay, um, I think there is a higher species. I
well,
think there is a higher species than us, and there might be out there. Do I think we're going to have contact with them? I'm on the fence.
and here's an interesting question too. Um, there's a difference between God with a big G and gods with a little g. And you can have a creator of the universe, and then you can have creations of that God in the universe going out and playing creator. Um, so,
Chris means that just because it's not in the Bible doesn't mean God didn't have anything to do with something. Yeah, exactly. RR says the problem is that we are being lied to at every level and senses are easily deceived. There is much to this life that we are in the dark about. Yes, I agree.
sure.
Um,
And about the
humanity is
way, sorry,
hum-
about the way that our brain is wired to perceive things. There are things that at this level of existence, of biochemical, whatever, that we will never understand. Go ahead.
humanity is both the prize and the battlefield. Yes, it is. That's well said, sir. Um, dolphins are higher. So long. Thanks for the fish. Uh, I think everything is theory, says Billy Ann. I believe in God, but what is God too? Nobody really knows exactly. We are unique in that we are corporeal and spiritual. Yes.
Nice.
Godzillionaire said alien base ships saw Drew's battle star and fled the system.
His brown star.
No. they saw they saw the battle dong.
Hug the donkey.
Was the Garden of Eden Mars or Earth? That's a fascinating question.
Okay, so according to the Canariaform, the Akkadian and Sumerian tablets, it was E period Den, and that literally translates into the home and the far away. So
It was they them.
yeah, it was they them, they them Anunnaki.
God, dude.
Yeah,
You
that's an
bet.
interesting thing because, like in the Book of Enoch and in all those texts, they were talking about like these monstrous chimera kind of things that they were trying to invent before they arrived at humanity. So another thing to
No,
chew.
wait. It's what's the other stupid pronoun they use? What, Z Zim or something?
Jim, yeah,
Yeah, it's just like invade. What? It's Invader Zim.
you're gonna go to the gay gym and work on your workout.
It's Invader Zim.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my god, dude, that
super
shit.
science.
Ugh, man, like I mean, these people are the fucktards are winning because they're actually like really turning people like stupid. Like this whole, all of this bullshit, that we talk about on Tuesday afternoons. Okay. And, thank you guys, by the way, for not only supporting this show this evening, but being regulars watching United Resistance. Because every Tuesday we talk about politics and current events, 6:45 p.m. Eastern.
I think Godzillionaire just won the chat.
Uh,
Do you see that?
Battle Dawn Galactica, hashtag beware the Drew. Yes, sir.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Absolutely. Um, and thank you guys for your support of United Resistance. We talk on there about when did all this societal shift happen.
Well, and there's very little
And
difference between politics and religion. And
and
then
as
when
soon
you,
as they and as soon as they started with identity politics and all this garbage and whatnot, that's when a lot of it took hold. That's when it really hit the apex. And everybody started to just go ass backwards. I mean, like everybody ran 50 miles an hour into stupid.
well,
I
if you
mean,
confuse the mind about what the body really is, spirit cannot express itself.
and when you get people like questioning I mean, the most basic thing, if you're a man or a woman, I mean, hello, by the way, can you look down? I mean, Jesus, you should know if you're a guy or a girl, damn it.
Well, there's your population control right there. You can't mate if you're not, you know, if you can't decide that shit. You can't produce viable offspring. Anyway, that has nothing to do with UFOs. That's just to say that there's like a media attack against your mind and against your body, and then there's a spiritual attack against your higher functions. And then you get things like UFOs happening, or like astral projection or dreams, and they're telling you that that shit's false too. What recourse do you have as a incarnated spirit on this planet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Um, anyway, you wanted to talk about the Phoenix lights.
Yeah. I've always wondered about the Phoenix Lights. I never saw that horror movie based on the Phoenix Lights, by the way. And I've always wondered, did anybody see that movie? Because I really want to see that.
I am looking for a good image. How did you first hear about the Phoenix lights?
And actually, probably back when I was 9, 10 years old, and I was getting books out of the library. You remember, I used to get books all the time. My major
Yeah.
fields of study all the time when I would get books out of the library were uh, they were UFOs, Bigfoot, things like that, and I was always fascinated with the unexplained. So, and Immortal Coil shares a really cool picture of the Phoenix Lights.
That's the first time I ever heard of it. I used to watch this show in the 90s called Sightings, and it was kind of like a current affair meets unsolved mysteries, hosted by Tim White. And
Mm-hmm.
they showed this, and this is one of those things like they would do recreations of things and kind of like spooky out a little bit. But then they would show things like this where somebody had videotape set up. Now, this is a city of Phoenix, and then you can see a concentric ring of lights. So it's either there are little tiny craft flying in formation, or this is something huge, like on the scale of I don't know, Independence Day. And I think that that's probably why they start trying to make movies and TV shows to try to control things like this that happen. And then of course the government came out afterwards and said, "Oh yeah, those were just like flares. We were just testing out flares over Phoenix." It's like, come on. But see, I'm more of a believer because of shit that's personally happened to me. Um, Corey, we kind of miss him because he's more scientific, and then Drew's kind of like, hey, convince me. I think Drew's a cigarette smoking man.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Uh,
but that's a wild image right there.
it is. It is. Let's share this. This comes from this here come that I'm going to share, folks. This comes from our friends over at coasttocoastam.com. This is from Major Ed Dames, and I love when Nori or whoever's hosting, hey, have Ed Dames on. He's really good when they're talking about UFOs. And this particular photo right here, as you can see, this object where you see my mouse circling around it, it's a pyramid-like object. Ed Dames' explanation is the pyramid object in the attached official photo above is like the Tic Tac objects, another transmedium UFO. That's a Navy term, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Transmedium. The object emanated from a point beneath the seabed, about 220 miles due west of the Olympic Peninsula. Average depth in that area is minus 9,000 feet. Very
Damn.
interesting.
Yeah.
So, there's a lot there's a lot of interesting things here, but the Phoenix Lights has always fascinated me because that was a sighting where a lot of people saw that.
Oh yeah. The police were notified. Like they jammed up the communications boards because back then you had to pick up the phone and call the cops. You know. Yeah. Yeah, it's a trip.
Yeah, those sightings are fascinating to me when you have that many people that all witness something at the same time. And
Well, and that was another blue book tactic where they tried to say mass hysteria. I
mm-hmm.
think, yeah, I think that term might have been invented for blue book, to tell you the truth, or like a mass hallucination, something like that. I'm trying to find.
CJH says whoever created the pyramids is probably spinning in his grave saying, I've been busting my ass on designing this thing and y'all think it's aliens.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, flares and weather balloons my ass are, it's interesting. PAC just tipped $20. Thank you so much. I appreciate that on the Stream Element side. Oh my gosh, I'll tell you, that actually I had to borrow enough today to get my dinner earlier because I'm in that much of a bind. Things are pretty awful, so I'm glad I was able to at least start the ball rolling and to give you guys an update on the channel because, yeah, my monetization was taken away. And earlier in the week, I started to go through the stupid hoops that YouTube wanted me to go to try to comply with their bullshit to be able to have my super chats back on. And I did all that. I resubmitted my identity verification and the whole 9 yards. And the only thing is, there's like probably there's probably about $150 or so sitting in there that I've made so far since I've been monetized. I can't access that money or even get that money because I still have to wait on a letter to come from California, from Google or whatever, with a code to confirm my address before they'll even release the funds. And God knows when they pay out. I have no idea when YouTube payouts come out. I imagine probably 2 times during a monthly period. So it's just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. The amount of shit that they put me through, and I know it's why. I know why they do it. And you folks know why they do it. Because one of the things about my channel, I love to ask questions and look for the truth, wherever that may lead. And, whether it's from the wild to the plausible, I want to ask the questions because that is what's fascinating. TZ Burton, hail TZ Burton. It's great to see you, my friend. Stream Element. Okay. He poses a question: is it better to use Stream Elements? And hail to Trina. Great to see you, Lasso. Stream Elements, what that does, okay, for any of you out there that are doing content creating yourself, I know CJ does it. I know that a number of you in the chat do. I know Deej does it. Stream Elements does help because it helps the creator. Okay, YouTube takes 30% right off the top. Actually, they changed that up. They take what now? I want to say like almost half because they raised that. It's the same thing with Twitch. If you're a Twitch creator, they're taking minimum 30% from you. So if somebody, for example, gives you a $10 thing of bits on Twitch, you're getting 7. They give you, $20 on here, you're getting, maybe 17, maybe 15. Stream Elements does not cost a fee, CJ. And when you go through Stream Elements, the benefit is the creator is getting a lot more. You're keeping about 90% or so of that money, 85, 90%, which is a lot better. Yeah, Google and Amazon, which owns Twitch, and Google owns this platform. They're all about the money. That's you guys. They're $1 billion corporations for a reason, guys. That's what they're about. So they're not going to benefit the creator. They're going to put you over a barrel. I'm glad that there are other alternatives out there like Stream Elements, like Ko-Fi, because I know comics and some people use Ko-Fi. It's nice to have something like Stream Elements available. I've used Stream Elements from the entire time that I've been streaming because, I used that. I set up my Stream Elements when I started my Twitch career. Because I've been streaming now total 7 years between Twitch and now here. But yeah, it's nice to have that option. And I also have a merch store in Stream Elements. That's another nice thing that they have for creators. You can create your own merch and have everything all nice and cozy within your Stream Elements dashboard. And hail to NB Geek. Let's talk. What's going on, NB Geek? And yeah, it is a crime racket. It sucks. Coil, I will share this in 1 second because I have something I want to share. That said, folks, I'm going to pull up my Stream Elements here for a second because I want to show you something cool because I just I was waiting for the opportunity to show everybody because I just put this in my Stream Elements merch store. So let me go and find it here. I just put a coffee mug in the merch store, and this is a special one that I made for United Resistance, and let me see if I can uh, pull it up. There we go. Go to store. All right, so go ahead and share this. I'll show this to you guys real quick, and then I'll share. We'll get back on topic. I swear. Hail to TC Burton. Thank you so much for the $10. Um, so this is the latest thing that we have in the store. This is the United Resistance coffee mug, which, as you can see on the sides, it says hashtag Beware the Drew. It has the channel logo, and on the front, you can't really see it because it won't let me spin it. But on the front, there is the wording, "The truth kicks ass," and you have the United Resistance logo. So when you have your coffee cup and you're holding it with the handle directly behind you, on the front of it, it says "The truth kicks ass," and you have the United Resistance logo. And on each side of the cup, you have hashtag Beware the Drew and the channel logo. So it's really cool. That is available for $18, and it's a little more expensive because I thought these days, given the prices of a coffee mug, you go anywhere to buy a coffee mug, you're dropping $12. Where you're getting a quality made product here. It's made in the USA, and it's also what it is you've got all these cool things on it. A lot of times you'll buy a coffee mug, it's blah, it'll just say one thing on the side. You can be like, I paid $12 for that. I want something that's at least going to kind of graphically knock my socks off. Well, you get that here. So I'll go ahead and we'll leave the link for that particular product. I will put that in the chat if anybody wants to look into purchasing a coffee mug. And then, of course, the other thing that I wanted to show before we get back on track here is, I have the shirt that I sell, which sells really well. The T-shirt, it comes in black, red, white, or blue. You've got hashtag Beware the Drew, and you've got the channel logo. So if you want to rock a Beware the Drew shirt, well, there it is. So the link for that product, I am copying. I will paste that in the chat. You guys can check out the T-shirt if you wish, and that's $20. So again, made in the USA, good quality, and we have 4 choices of color there. So I just wanted to share that real quick, and now we'll get back on topic. And hail to Tina Bojan. What's up? Thank you, Tina. It's great to see you. Good morning. Again, TC Burton, thank you so much for the tip on the stream element side. Let's go and check. BAC says it's with the $20, it's not much, but it's a meal. TZ Burton says, when we are in tough times, we help each other. Yes, we do. And again, I thank you, folks. I thank you. It's going to be nice to wake up tomorrow and actually be able to get something to eat in a pinch. So thank you. Let's see. What are we looking at here, Coyle?
This is what's commonly called the TR3B. And we kind of touched upon this last week when Corey was here. But these are the large triangle-shaped craft that have been reported predominantly throughout the 80s, just like slowly floating.
Oh, these are the pyramids.
Yeah, yeah.
Pyramid UFOs.
And so they'll have like the three lights on the apexes and then like the big red light in the center. Um, but from what I understand, these might be like aurora craft or man-made craft or whatever the fuck, because you can tell the difference in the internal luminosity. Like it looks more like car headlamps, the way that it overexposes the picture versus real UFOs, what I would call real UFOs, which look like they possess their own luminescence.
Ooh, Chris Mead brings up a good one, dude. If you could pull up something on this coil while you're sitting there, this would be great.
You
Yes,
know,
I have heard of Gulf
I almost
Breeze.
shared that, and then I started finding all these other things. So yeah,
Yeah,
I'll go
I have
find
heard of
something.
Gulf Breeze, Chris Mead. I am familiar with it. But yeah, with the pyramid craft. Now, I have always thought with those pyramid UFOs, I really do think those are man-made. I think those are top secret man-made.
Yeah, and some of the technology might have came from somewhere else, but you can tell if you see seams or lines or rivets or something that looks like car headlamps. That's a sign that it's man-made. Um, and I have reasons to say that, but we'll leave that for a different show. Okay, so I'm gonna kill that image. I found the Gulf Breeze image.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I haven't talked about Gulf Breeze in a long time.
Yeah,
I remember reading about that.
there we go.
Yep.
Now it's interesting because supposedly this is like a daylight UFO sighting, which very rarely happens. I don't know, man. What do you think?
Gulf Breeze always interested me because I thought that it was rather compelling. You know,
Says this was a 1987, 1988,
yeah.
somewhere in there. I got this off of Wikipedia. The Gulf Breeze UFO incident was a series of claimed UFO sightings in Gulf Breeze, Florida during 87 and 88. Beginning in November of 87, the Gulf Breeze Sentinel published a number of photos supplied to them by local contractor Ed Walters that were claimed to show a UFO. And then there's other people that say it's a hoax and it's this and it's that. And that's where the controversy exists. Because again,
Well,
this is
see
a
the problem
daylight
is,
sighting.
see the problem is with this one and why it was considered a hoax was you know, reporter Craig Myers investigated Ed Walters' claims, and in 1990, after Walters and his family moved out, the new owners of Walters' house discovered a styrofoam model UFO hidden in the attic. Myers was able to duplicate the object in the Walters photographs almost exactly using the model UFO found in the attic. Walters later claimed that the model UFO had been, quote, planted in the attic. So take it for what you will. But, it's funny because, again, you had a situation where more than one person had a sighting that during that time. So again, I tend to take it more seriously when there is a group of people and they say, "Okay, I've seen something,"
Okay.
and
And
Hail and Nephilim 2, another monster. Hail.
while we're talking about that, we should probably talk about Billy Meyer because he's another guy who had very clear daylight UFO sightings, but he also claimed to be a contactee. And let's see. Actually, that I want to believe photo that Mulder has in his office came from Billy Meyer's photos. Oh, come on. I keep on finding crap photos of this. Okay, there we go.
When we were talking about Project Bluebeam earlier, the there was a gentleman, Canadian fellow, who was a investigative journalist, Serge Monast. He was a Canadian. He's like the Van Damme movies. He's from Quebec, but yes, he was from Quebec, born in 45. Now, he mysteriously died in 96 from a heart attack in his own home, the day after he was arrested and jailed, for quote, like, peddling anti-government information or something along those lines. And it was crazy. But was his death an untimely coincidence? It's interesting. You wonder if there's something to this, and that's what makes me wonder about the the significance of Project Bluebeam.
Yeah, and you have individuals like Bob Lazar who said he was chased by cars, and then I forget his name, the guy that talked about the Dulce Wars, which is probably a different show because when we start encountering beings, that should be its own fucking thing.
Chris Mead says, I read the witness account from Ed Walters. I thinking it was pretty interesting. Yeah, well, it's not just Walters himself, Chris. It's the fact, again, and I tend to gravitate to what really interests me when you talk about sightings of UFOs is when you have multiple sightings, when it's clustered in there and a number of people see the same thing in the same relative time frame.
Well, do you remember that Mexico City mass
Yeah.
sighting that took place in the 90s where there was just
Yes.
like hundreds of those things in the sky?
Mm-hmm.
And there was crowds of people just like pointing at it and going like, Dios mío.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, if I just had a soundboard, I would clip that. I'd be like, you saying "Dios mío."
I'm sure somebody will. Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, let's.
Okay. So this is from the Independent, and it's not I mean, they're not the best rag, but they're not the worst rag, and it's NASA cuts live feed as UFOs spotted leaving Earth. Now, the video it takes a little bit to take off, but they're going to zoom in to show you the part of Earth where these things are going to start coming out of the atmosphere. And supposedly this was a live feed, and NASA's sitting there going like, yeah, the International Space Station runs off of solar power, and we piss, and then it like blows out in outer space, and then suddenly you can see one right there towards the middle, and then you can see another one towards the far right.
Yep.
Yeah, and then there's another one towards the middle. And for what I understand, like astronauts see this shit all the time, and they're trained to not really talk about it. And they have code names for it. They're like, yeah, Santa Claus or whatever. Yeah, look at that.
Yep.
And that's from NASA. That's not Photoshop.
Dude, there's been plenty of times where NASA will be running that open live stream that you can watch, where people have been watching it, something pops up that's unexplained, and NASA will cut the fucking feed.
Yeah. Well, and there's also been rumors about people who get paid to Photoshop Google Earth because sometimes the satellite will catch a UFO. It's crazy shit, man. And then there's that dude that hacked into the U.S. Navy and supposedly found out that there were space fleets and all that kind of stuff, like years before Space Force was announced. Um,
Well, well, you wonder. Okay, you wonder about. Again, we touched on it last week about the secret space program.
yeah.
A lot of
So
people have come out and said the secret space program, it's a thing. It's a real thing.
yeah, that book that I mentioned earlier, The Day After Roswell, he talks about Project Paperclip, which you had a famous tweet about, and
Operation Paperclip, yes.
yeah, that's where the U.S. following the victory over the Germans started importing German scientists and
Well,
German think
that's
tanks,
that's
and
that's that's facts.
yeah,
That's
adopted
facts. They
German.
they 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 brought in. You gotta remember when I put that tweet out. Yeah, they did. After World War II, I mean, we gave a lot of the former Nazis refuge here.
Because we
Like,
wanted them
hey,
to
you
work
do
for
shit.
us.
You do shit to help benefit the United States. You can basically live a life of wealth and comfort here.
Yeah. So the most famous one of those guys was Werner von Braun.
Werner von Braun.
Yeah, and
He
he
worked. He worked with NASA.
on those Saturn rockets. He worked on the V2 and all that kind of shit, and they were like, okay, work on this. And it was a smoke screen because the real like skunk work shit going on was going on like in Groom Lake and you know
Hmm.
shit like that. And according to the book, Philip J. Corso, The Day After Roswell, what they were doing was taking pieces of the downed craft from Roswell and trying to reverse engineer it. And according to him, things like integrated circuits and fiber optics and night vision and lasers all came from that ship. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
You know, so we don't know what exactly again these things are. You know, there is also that theory that go all the way back to Eisenhower that they met with an alien race at that point and had an exchange of technology and had an actual agreement drafted.
Yeah. I mean, I heard it was Truman, and then Eisenhower was briefed, and then he briefed Kennedy, and Kennedy was about to reveal all that shit, as well as disband the CIA, the FBI, and the NSA, and they fucking popped him.
So it's hard to say, but don't forget that theory has been out there for a long time.
Yeah.
So, you can do what you will with that, but um, you know, granted, we have the technology. As technologies advance, you have to wonder, well, how do these things work? Where did they come from?
Yeah. They're talking about quantum computing now, and
Hmm.
transistors are getting so small, like they're almost microscopic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another monster. You're talking about that Thor dude?
Well, I'm telling you what, guys. If we ever get, when you really start asking questions, is if we ever get something that's similar to, we talk about our modern technology. Okay, remember your old flip phones when it's funny because when the good old you guys remember the good old days of the first cell phones, the first
Your daddy's brick phone.
no, not those ones, but
Uh,
shortly after in the very early 2000s, probably about 19, 20 years ago,
Oh,
probably
you're talking
around
about like Nokia,
the good old Motorola StarTAC.
Motorola's.
You know, because I had one of those. I had one of those. I thought I was the shit because I had a Motorola StarTAC. You know, TZ Burton says I remember the brick phones.
Yeah, Zach Morris had one.
Yeah, yep. But the good old Motorola StarTAC flip phone that looked like a Star Trek communicator.
Yeah,
You know, from the original from TOS, and you know, you have to wonder now if we get anywhere close to replicator technology, if we ever get something that is legitimately like a replicator, then I'm going to, you know, really start asking questions.
yeah.
Hey, you just pop in your trash, whatever, blah blah blah, you know, and you can make whatever delicacy you want, and it just you don't even have to cook.
Yeah.
Now you've got something akin to that with 3D printing,
Yep.
but can you imagine if we get to the level where we have replicator technology, like food replicators? That would be crazy.
Yeah. Well, and they've been talking
They
about
wouldn't let
using.
that come out though, because that would solve the world hunger issue, and they don't want to do that.
No, they want to reduce the
They
population.
like people dying.
But
So
they were talking about using proteins to create like fake synthesized meats. But they're also talking about using it to grow like replacement organs and kind of like that Fifth Element shit where they plugged in the code and it
mhm.
came out with that hot bitch. But
Billy
yeah,
Ann says I had a green Nokia prehistoric. The brick phones were heavy. Yes, they were.
yeah,
Jesus Christ, those were insane,
put
man.
cancer on the
Those
side of your
those
temporal lobe.
those old ones. You know, like if you remember the old pro wrestling, Paulie Dangerously. He had that big phone. The look it was like good God, the thing was huge, and those were solid. Man, if you hit somebody in the head with it, you'd like seriously lacerate them or bust them open. That's kind of it'd be crazy. But yeah, the interesting thing is any advanced technology that would really benefit humanity. Like you can argue that the smartphone has benefited humanity, but has it really benefited humanity? Because it's widely used to spy on you. It's widely used to monitor your communications. It's made communication convenient, but in the end, it has made you a target. It's made
Sure,
all of us a target because they're
sure.
constantly tracking our phone somewhere. You're being tracked somewhere as
Well, the
long as your
same thing
phone is
that
on.
recommends ads to you, like shares
Hmm.
your infos and all that stuff to the big mega state in Utah that you know where they're capturing all that data and yeah.
Yeah, TZ Burton said that the old cell phone bills were insanely expensive. Oh my God, dude, were they? Um, Chris Mead said you could think classic Hollywood glamour star Hedy Lamarr for Wi-Fi.
Yeah, and you can thank fucking Al Gore for the internet.
Yeah, well, that's a load of bullshit. The only thing you can thank Al Gore for is being a grifter
Yeah,
for you know everything. Um, yeah, cheesy Burton. Cell phones are constantly tracking you, which is why you should use a Faraday cage. You know, for cell phones. Um, you know, when it's not in use. You know, I really do eventually want to get one of those because this thing that I have, you know, this is a Galaxy S22. This is technically 5G. So what this is, you know, essentially I'm wearing a walking tracking device right here. And
Sure.
it's even worse with the 5G because they can pinpoint you to the very hell. They can pinpoint me in my chair right
Yeah.
now.
Well, that's why they don't have to implant you with the microchip, because we're
Uh,
carrying that shit around in our back pocket.
and what I should do is have a Faraday cage, and we should all think about when we can pick one up, getting Faraday cages for our phone when they're not in use. Just leave them in there. That was that's an important thing. Um, yeah, I'm not saying that there isn't benefits to it, TZ Burton, but there is health disadvantages. And we want to talk about interesting things about things like 5G. Let me show you guys something that I saw on Twitter today. Very interesting, by the way. And I just got to find our United Resistance group here because I shared this earlier today. It's very interesting. Where's the Oh man, we've had so many people be active in this group today. Um, that just swear to God, I shared that in the chat. I guess not. Oh, okay. I found it. Let me this is a tweet my friend shared.
Right here. They're eating their food, getting radiated.
All right. Start from the beginning. And I will full screen this so you guys can see it. This is from apparently a TikTok that somebody shared on Twitter. It's from an account I follow called Illuminati Bot. Very
Love that guy.
informative account. So let's go.
Okay, so you want to talk about assault weapons? I'm going to show you an assault weapon. Okay. Let's see, shall we? So, this right here, you see that? Okay. This is off the charts. Do we see this number? This is at 14, 15. It's not supposed to go above 0.20. So anybody that's sitting outside, anywhere in this vicinity, which these people are right here, they're eating their food, getting radiated on. That's an assault weapon. You want to talk banning an assault weapon? Start banning those things that are radiating people to death every single day. Maybe we can start there. So right now,
very interesting. Very interesting. So we talk about 5G and what's happening. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of radiation emitted, and it was a Geiger, like a small mini Geiger. The other thing, folks, well, because we are swinging off topic here, but one thing I wanted to tell you guys, very interesting, because we all love our Taco Tuesdays, right? And we love to, when we can make tacos because, who doesn't love to make tacos? I love to make tacos when I can afford to get the stuff to make them, and I'm sure a lot of you do too. And not bragging, but damn. The Supreme One's a good fucking cook. I can make good tacos. You come over and have some tacos cooked by Drew, you won't go anywhere else. But to get to the point, all right, when you go to the store, be careful and read every label possible. Whether you're buying the most mundane thing like tortilla chips, something like that, some chip dip, whatever. All right, now I looked at the old El Paso taco shells, right? You know, you guys have seen them on the grocery shelves, the old El Paso. Now, I used to get those because I like those old El Paso. I almost said it all exotic, like old El Paso. No, but the old El Paso stand and stuff taco shells, I would get those. Now, the problem is with those, all right, if you pay attention to the fine print on the package, it says, you know, made with bioengineered material. Okay. I immediately stopped buying those. I'll pay an extra $1.25, whatever it is, and I will buy the organic. Because anything that's bioengineered, you want to stay away from. So please, when you buy stuff at the store, read labels. I know it's going to take extra time, whatever, because usually when we go in the store, we want to get in, we want to get out. Unless you're a woman, no offense, ladies, but you guys take about 3 days to do a normal shopping list. When a guy walks into a grocery store, we go bip, 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 and we're out in 30 minutes. But, you know, read labels, because when you see shit on there like bioengineered foods or this has bioengineered ingredients, no, throw that shit off to the side. You don't need it. TZ Burton said most of my yard is a garden, not enough room for chickens. Billy Ann says I've been doing that for years. Good girl. That's awesome. You know, TZ Burton says most store-bought food is bad for you. Yes, it is. And oh yeah, Olympia. Oh God, yeah, some Olympia is good stuff, dude. Yeah, yeah. If you can afford to buy organic, I mean, it's good, and you should pick your spots where you can buy organic stuff, guys. I mean, because Billy Ann's right. The organic is good shit. Check 44 says 30 minutes. Why so long? Dude, it takes me about 30 minutes because I go according to my list. You know, like I said, you know, us being guys, our shopping, it goes a lot faster than you know, when your wife or girlfriend goes to the grocery store. Yeah, because you can usually count on them being gone for at least an hour and a half. Unfortunately, we are at the point where you cannot trust labels. Yeah, you're right, RR. Last of Truth said organic is a gimmick. Billy Ann says, especially fruits and veggies. TZ Burton says, I know people are against GMO, but if we didn't have GMO, most people on the planet would perish. TZ Burton says, same with shopping for clothes. Oh, God, yeah, dude. That's the... that's the ultimate. Another monster said, I was thinking the same thing. Is there a Galaga console at the supermarket? Dude, back in the day, you might actually have had that. But we're closing in on an hour and 25 minutes. Got about 5 minutes left in the show. I know Immortal has to get scooting here.
Yeah, I wake up at 4 a.m. to go and swing a hammer. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you know, look, you can spare another 4 minutes. You know, I'll hammer you straight in the ball bag. Just you know, just
All right, well, let's talk some UFOs.
No, no, you can go ahead and do your outro, bro. I just had to give you a hard time. All right.
You're good, buddy.
Tell people where they can find you and what you got going on.
Yep. What's happening, savages? My name is Immortal Coil. your oracle of whiskey mysticism. Revolution is my name. You can find me Sunday nights here at Midnight's Prism. You can find me Tuesday nights on Jew's United Resistance program. You can find me Wednesdays on my own program called The Savage Perspective. And that's basically me making fun of the news and being a jerk. But whatever your predilection is, we got like a program for you. We got some good stuff coming out over this next year. We got a plan to take over the world. And we want to do it in a way that's authentic and honest. And we want to do it in a way that's eye opening, third eye opening, even. So come one, come all, come say hi, like, share, subscribe, follow my channel. I only have about like 360 subs at this point, and it's not for lack of trying, but there's a shadow ban going on, but there's also like I want to do this in a way that's not humping the algorithm. I want to do it organically and attract the people who should be listening. So thanks for tuning in tonight, guys. Love you all. You're the best chat on YouTube, and we'll talk to you soon.
Lasso says, you guys want women to look good. Stop crying about how long it takes us to pick out outfits, jabronis. Through the Veil said, oh, too bad I missed it, because our friend through the Veil,
you'd be a good guest to have on the panel sometime.
Oh, when we do more paranormal stuff, I'm definitely going to have Veil on, because I'm going to let her bring some of her updated stuff and her updated sizzle reel, and we'll talk. We'll do another show on the paranormal. I'll reach out to her when I can, but she's been a good friend for a while now. God, time's flown by, Vale. You and I have been friends now nearly over a year and a half. My goodness, the time just flew by. She's absolutely awesome. Love Vale. She is a paranormal investigator, a medium, and she does good stuff. TC Burton says, Tim Pool said start a Rumble channel, even though he doesn't stream there. I love Rumble. Yeah, and I'm thinking about backing my content up, guys, on Rumble and those and stuff like that, especially with what I do, because the government doesn't like it. YouTube doesn't like it. If I go over to Twitch isn't gonna like it, because I'm gonna piss all the commies over at Twitch off, because they're any more of these days over on Twitch. There's a lot of commie channels. You get people. There's literally people that stream on Twitch, guys. If you ever look, type in the hashtag politics on a category in Twitch, you will get literal commie channels. I mean, these people don't even hide it. They're pro-communist people, and they're streaming and trying to tell you the joys of communism. Like, are you kidding me? But this is the stuff you find over there. And and that's the stuff that I rail against, obviously. So anyway, I thank you for coming out tonight, supporting the program. Thank you for always coming through, supporting United Resistance as well. Again, if you want to, pick up a coffee mug, whatever, here's the link for the T-shirt. If you want to pick yourself up a Beware the Drew T-shirt, there you go. And also the coffee mug is in the store. And you could just have something awesome. I know RR, I know you're going to buy a coffee mug. I feel like you're going to buy a coffee mug, RR. I want to see, some of you gals, some of you guys rocking that merch. I really do. So when you get a chance, and at some point, and we have it going on, if you donate to Mom's Memorial Fund, Tommy and I are giving away, T-shirts. when you donate to the memorial fund. So, you know, you can get a free t-shirt if you donate like, you know, anywhere between $50 and $100. We'll give you a free t-shirt. You know, if you want to just buy the t-shirt, it's $20 on the store. And the coffee cup is $18. And that's a special commemorative United Resistance coffee cup. So, you know, that's what I love about having that. Angela Straben said, when we can get a, oh God, Angela's. And by the way, happy birthday to Angela Straben, man. Happy birthday to you. Yeah, when are we doing that Supreme Heretic? The collective wants to know it better not be on Lettuce Day. I know, right? All right. We've had that in place for a while, Lasso. We've been taking stock of the people that have, been donating. So, you know, I'll go ahead and, TZ Burton, I'll make sure that you get a shirt. Definitely. You've been really awesome. I don't know if there's an option to make a bobblehead. I might. I might. Beware the Drew plushie. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I know. All right, guys. I could sit here and we could chit chat forever because, like, I'm wide awake. I really love the fact that we had an awesome, like, just great talk about the subject matter at hand because it's a fascinating topic. And we'll continue on the theme. We may as well make it UFO week because next week will be on, you know, we will get into the Betty and Barney Hill incident. I meant to get into that tonight. We riffed on the Phoenix Lights. We riffed on Rendlesham. We riffed on Gulf Breeze. So, you know, we hit a lot of stuff. And we were just, we got a lot of good info and a lot of good discussion out there. Oh, God. Guys, you are coming up with interesting merch ideas. My God. Where the true body? Jesus. But yeah, the time just flew by on this. But it was such a fascinating topic. It's such a huge topic. So, you know, again, we'll get into alien abduction next week. Corey should be back. You know, I know that we have people that want to share experiences. Tobat, I think, said that he had one that he wanted to share. I believe Coyle has a story to share. Oh, yeah. So we'll go and do that. Tommy said, I need some working internet. I think aliens are blocking it. They're in league with CenturyLink. Yeah, they are. Chris Mead said, I still have to sketch up my t-shirt idea for you, Drew. Yeah, you know, if you get that out there, I will, send me the image and I will set it up on a shirt in the Stream Element store. And we'll do a limited run on it because make it like exclusive would be cool. All right. Another monster said, yes, beware the Drew pool noodles.
Pool noodles.
Oh, my God. All right, guys. You know, take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I love you. You are indeed the best chat on YouTube because without you, there is no content creator. There is no me. There is no Coil. You guys are the driving force of the program. Don't ever let any creator out there that you watch, any YouTuber, any Twitch streamer, anybody tell you that you don't matter. You are the driving force of the programming because you are the ones who watch, listen, and support. And I am very grateful to have you not only as audience, but as friends. So until next time, my friends, have a good night, everybody.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, hi, Coast Casino.
Hey, welcome to Sparking News Podcast. My name is Scott.
I'm E. Temple Queen of the Place to Be Reviews.
I am the Patriot, True Taylor, aka Supreme Heretic.
The Red Gaze on YouTube, at the Red Gaze on Twitter.
What up, what up, what up?
Hello, everybody. It's me, Vinny.
The voice of Immortal Coil.
Oh, hey, I am the Ghost Bear.
What's going on, Tommy? You get anybody to like this?
Yeah, I'm Wes Moody of the Wes Moody Webcast.
Tony, Death, rocking the